This is my freaking dream come true. Jeff the Land Shark in Marvel Rivals and in for the beta. They brought his entire moveset and the character to us late last night. You got a quick glimpse at what he's got going on, but I will cover it in full detail. What's going on, everybody? It's GhostRobo, and welcome to the cutest and coolest Marvel Rivals character this side of Wakanda. I hope you're all doing fantastic out there. I love this character. Marvel Snap, one of my favorite cards. That's where I was first introduced to Jeff the Land Shark. And ride Groot. Now, Groot is very strong, but Jeff is a big boy, and I learned quite quickly that Jeff on Groot, maybe not the best course of action. Rocket on Groot, Rocket can spray. Jeff being a healer, Jeff probably should not be riding on top of Groot. He's a big booty target, but Jeff uses his joyful splash to create a beam of healing for his friends and allies. But he's not just a one-trick pony, although he is one of the easier healers to use, and it did take me a bit of time to get used to him. The charm and character design that they put into this new hero is amazing, and it makes me love this game so much more. I think Jeff the Lion Shark shows that this team at NetEase gets it, that they love us, and that they're going to continue to create super cool stuff. So let me know what you think of Jeff in the comments down below. I learned that I can heal even in the sky. Storm is flying by, and I say hello. So Joyful Splash is what you're seeing right now. That is my firefighter spraying healing to all corners of the planet. It goes very far. Like, look at that. It drips, it drops, it goops, it glops. And when he reloads, he eats. He does have an Aqua Burst attack that's going to be on the left trigger that allows him to deal some damage. Now, I don't think that's a very good attack on its own, but his team up with Luna Snow makes it actually quite ridiculous, and he feels like a sniping healer at that point, and I loved it. Now, as for these videos, I usually start off with kind of like an intro game where I'm learning the character, and then we get to some later games where, like, okay, I was really dominating and actually got some kill streaks and also did some mega healing. Now, I will say that Luna Snow is more able to heal at a widespread level, but Jeff being able to heal in a very direct, like, beam is super important for elongated one-on-one conflicts and keeping your tanks alive. Now, Jeff does have a healing bubble that comes off the right bumper, and this allows him to spit out a bubble that will heal whoever collects it, as well as boost the healing they receive. Now, Jeff's ultimate is very unique, called It's Jeff. He dies below, and then he swallows up both enemies and allies. It's an interesting ultimate because it allows you to spit out your enemies and your allies in different directions, which I think is really darn neat. That little bit of Jaws action there as I spray and pray. But his ult, It's Jeff, is interesting because it's sort of Venom-esque in terms of he's like swallowing those from below, but it's swallowing allies as well as enemies, and then you spit them out in different directions. So it's pretty cool as like an ability to sort of change the battle in critical moments, especially as you're pushing a target or trying to capture a location. You can then move the enemies out of the way, but you're also then occupying the allies for a bit. So it's, I find, a very difficult ultimate to use. I think Jeff in general is a very beginner-friendly character, except for his ultimate. I really, like, to be honest, and you guys know I'm not the best Marvel Rivals player by any stretch. I'm not sure exactly how to utilize his ultimate in the best way yet. Like, it does do some damage, and I've got some kills off of it, but Jeff can also be damaged while in that, and there's one instance in this video where I swallow up Penny Parker, and it feels like she's damaging me from inside my belly, which is a bit bizarre. Now, Jeff does have this ability to go underground. It's called Hide and Seek. It's left bumper, and that allows him to evade, get out of harm's way, but also it's sort of his movement ability to move quicker. He can climb on walls when he's in hide and seek mode. I love it after I get killed, to come back into the battlefield. Like, that's really valuable right there. Singular healing on Doctor Strange in the air, super valuable. I don't know if there's anyone else that could really do it as good as Jeff does in this specific situation. Now, being paired with Luna Snow, I feel, is like so crucial. You are able to snipe with these infused ice balls from further away. It becomes a frozen spitball, and those are Jeff's two team-ups, riding Groot and then spitting out ice Now, the ice energy is really, really cool, and I do think it is a fantastic addition to Jeff. And, you know, we've talked in other videos about how, like, there's certain characters like Punisher and Rocket that I feel like go together so darn well. There I am spitting out an enemy, getting Doctor Strange out of the battlefield, which actually, like in this instance, was very good. Look how much that allowed us to push the Spider Zero because I spit Strange away, even if it didn't get a kill necessarily directly. But I think the Frozen Spitball, as I was saying, is another one that is incredibly valuable. And Luna and Jeff, like, maybe that is overkill on the healing side of things. But I feel like it works really well, and I think Jeff being able to support Luna and Luna able to support Jeff, it seemed to create very successful scenarios for me as I was playing in these games. Jeff's hide and seek is great to avoid different attacks. It's great to avoid ultimates. He can be shot while he is in that state, so you do need to know that. Jeff can be attacked in hide and seek, and actually he's a pretty obvious target. If you're going against a character like Star-Lord or Punisher, they can kind of key in on you very, very quickly. A melee character is going to have a harder time, and if you are smart about it, which I learned to be better at as time went on, you can absolutely utilize it to your extreme advantage. I think Jeff is fun because his movement is cool. His healing is actually, like, I feel a very fun heal. Instead of it just like popping heal and you're just like, oh, spit it in this general direction. Like, you do have to be very concerned and direct with who are you going to be trying to heal. Am I going to heal, you know, prioritize. You look for those critical markers and prioritize there. You know, I stay back from Storm's ult, and I'm going to try to heal my entire team. It's got a pretty wide breadth, too, so if multiple allies get in sort of your line of fire, like, amazing. Do it again. Stand in front of me. No friendly fire here that we're afraid of, so we do love getting those heals. And I love that you can heal from above. Like, it's hard, you know, obviously, if they're swinging around like Spider-Man or Venom, but especially for the Flyers, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Storm, I feel like there's a pretty good ability to heal from the air. I love that the Frozen Spitball also makes marks on the environment. I think it's just a cool touch. And in general, one of the things that makes Jeff awesome to me is his overall charm. I think the character creation is absolutely epic in the sense that he is a literal tiny shark that walks, and yet he is a very cool character that can be very valuable in battle and has a wide range of applications to not just feel like a gimmick. I think this is Marvel Rivals' biggest strength. Obviously, like they have the Marvel IP and they have all the Marvel characters, and the graphic design is very nice. The art style and the sketch look of the characters with UE5 is fantastic. But I think it's also so impressive that they've been able to make all the characters feel like the character should feel. Like everybody, even with only a couple abilities, everybody feels like how you would imagine them feeling. Like Jeff the Landshark feels so much like Jeff the Landshark should feel. Like in my head, if I was going to create a character, I don't know what Jeff would exactly be, but then I play Marvel Rivals and I'm like, dude, this is what Jeff the Landshark should have been. And it feels like every character kind of hits that, where they feel like they embody a good chunk of the character. Now, you just saw me use an It's Jeff Ultimate where I only grabbed allies, and to me, that does feel like a big mistake. That feels like a move that is very yuck and not great, and I do not like having this, picking up your friends but not your enemies, and dealing with an instance where now the allies are kind of at your mercy. You have to spit them out before they can actually do anything. Just feels bad. We're actually going to get to a third game here where I got very much more comfortable with Jeff, so this is a longer video with 3 games instead of 2 games, because I think Jeff really does take a bit of time to sort of figure out, and the main thing for me that I needed to understand is just staying back. I do like to be sort of more of the mid-range heroes. When I'm Jeff, I do need to stay back. I need to be behind my team, and I need to be supporting. That's the most important thing I do. Now, a very interesting situation is going to happen here. We are actually about to lose this match, spoiler, but watch how it happens. So I get a It's Jeff Swallow on the enemies here. I'm at 90, 91. We're in overtime as we push the Spider Zero right to the very end, and they say it's your big chance. So I think I'm about to clutch this match for us. Watch. Okay? It seems like Penny Parker is activating an ult. I get into 100% with some ice snipes, and then I'm going to go in and try to swallow the crew here so that I end it, but I don't, because somehow I die in the middle of my ult, and I feel like it's because I tried to swallow Penny Parker in the middle of her ult. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I just didn't understand what was going on. Maybe I just, I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing it biased, because obviously I'm playing, but what the heck happened there? How come I died as I was swallowing, and was it Penny Parker? We're moving on to the third game here, and this is my most successful as Jeff. This is a emphatic victory for our team, and just, I think, some great play of mixing and matching the healing with the ice sniping. And I was lucky that every game that I recorded with Jeff in this session had either Groot or Luna, and then the ones I selected, I really emphasized trying to have both of them. You'll notice Groot is there. I did try to ride Groot. Like I said, you do get damage reduction, and it is fun, but I feel like you're a very big target, and because you're not doing a ton of damage, I mean, you're more mobile, I guess, for the heals if Groot is able to move around. But because Groot is kind of getting into the fray, there's me, some Jeff on Jeff Shark action. Because Groot is in the middle of the fray, he's right in the midst, of the biggest battles of tanking, it seems counterproductive to have Jeff on his shoulder. It feels like it's just exposing Jeff to not really do what he's meant to do, emphasize his attacking ability too much. And as you can see, Frozen Spitball is very powerful. Like, I don't feel like his Aqua Burst, which is his basic left trigger, his basic attack, is very good and almost worth using at all. But when you are able to enhance with Luna, it is on a countdown. You can see there I have to wait to re-infuse my energy with ice, my water with ice, I guess. It does take a bit of time, but it's very valuable. Nonetheless, I do not think it's a great idea to ride Groot. So therefore, in my head, even though Groot is a team-up, it's really like Jeff's team-up is Luna. That is the one that is beneficial. That is the one that feels like it makes a significant difference. That is the one that feels like, I really want this team-up. I really feel like this is important for team composition. You'll notice me taking on bigger targets quite a lot. I feel like Jeff's Ice Spitball is fantastic for Hulk, for Venom, for Groot. It's really great for those bigger, bulkier targets, and it feels like it does a nice burst of damage, and it allows you to hit from pretty far across the map or up close. And I think Jeff being able to switch pretty much at will between spitting, damage and spitting heals makes him a very versatile fighter. I don't know that Jeff is the best healer, but to me, thus far, he has been the most fun. Like, I really loved Adam Warlock. That was our last video in the series. If you missed that one, definitely check it out, because I did go through some awesome, epic Jeff and Adam Warlock back-to-back healer action. But I do think that Jeff is just, like, great to play because of how well realized the character is. And I just have to figure out his ultimate. I just have to figure out how to best use this. Here's me swallowing some enemies. I'm going to spit him into the corner, but like as you can see, it's not a very direct spit. It's more of just like a vomit, like a wide-scale vomit. So at the end of the day, you do want to be spending, majority of your time healing. I think his hide and seek, though, is something that, for me, also gives him a little bit of a leg up. Maybe not like, again, phenomenal or whatever, but gives him a bit of a leg up because he is able to get out of harm's way very quickly, and he's also able to rush in quickly. Healers like Adam Warlock don't have as much of a traversal, and while Jeff's isn't really so much of a traversal, it is very cool that he is able to maneuver in a way that I think, gives him quite a bit of flexibility, but also just like teamwork. Like, he is able to really be a big help, and I think friends or even just randos are going to be really appreciative of you being Jeff the Land Shark, because he can get in there very quickly. He is able to be disruptive with his Frozen Spitball in particular. And maybe if I spent more time, maybe I would have been able to do a better job of learning how his Aqua Burst could also heal, or could also be helpful and also be damaging. But to me, it just really seemed like I wanted the Luna power to even switch over. Like, I better be healing, and then as soon as I can wait for the countdown on the Frozen Spitball, then I can get back at it, and I can be ready to go. So Let me know what you think of Jeff in the comments down below. This game, I really felt like I did a nice job. And ooh, I really want to get this Hulk here. I really want to get this Hulk, but I'm trying to kill Groot and be a good Samaritan. Hulk is going to turn back into BB, and we're going to try to blast him. But it's all about keeping my squad alive as best I can. So this is very, very, very cool that he was added into the beta. They added Thor and Jeff in the middle of the night. A post Comic-Con amazing, wonderful gift to us. I think that this game is just doing everything right. For a little performance check, I did have some lag today, which I will note was interesting, but it was only at the start of the matches. It totally cleared up once like everything actually keyed in, so once like before the timer expired. So I'm wondering if it's something like to do more with a load-in. The gameplay itself seems to be pretty darn great, and I just feel like they have hit a home run with the gameplay, the art, the characters, the roster, the rollout, and just how they're managing expectations, how they're handling player feedback. And it feels like whatever balance changes they made for the closed beta versus the alpha, it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle monetization and the full release of the game. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to be. I trust and hope that what they've shown us and given us thus far is an indication of how good it's going to be. But as you know, in the gaming industry, there's always a chance to mess it up. I just have my fingers crossed that all the effort and time they put into making amazing characters, wonderful gameplay, a great looking, great performing game that is kind of taking the world by storm, they don't choke it, and they don't get overly aggressive, and they don't get overly greedy just because they have the Marvel license and IP. But let me know what you think of Jeff in the comments down below. I think he's a fantastic character. So glad we got to play him today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know who you want to see next in more Marvel Rivals coverage. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay paused out there. Love y'all so much. Jeff is burping bubbles, reaching higher levels, getting all sorts of achievements and quests complete, and there you go. Did some solid damage, got quite a few kills. How many was it? 11. I think that's pretty good for a healer using that snipe to good effect, and I will say goodbye for now, everyone. Drink some hot chocolate, and until next time, thanks again for watching. We'll see you all later.